I'm gonna give you 10, I'm gonna call them upstream principles that you could use throughout the entire year. These are 10 principles that you could call them the foundation, you could call them the upstream principles, just a different way to think and look at things in this new year. These are principles I've learned through all these years of being in this. These are principles I learned from my partner and dear friend, Tony Robbins. He's impacted my life more than any other human on this planet. And what I've done is try to boil them down into 10 bite-size principles. Tony does Date with Destiny over 6-7 days, right? Great, it's one of the biggest game changers in the world. I want to give you 10 principles today that you could write down, think about, and put someplace where you could see on a regular basis. And also, this is going to lead us into setting our goals. So, number one, in no particular order, number one, in 2024, it's time to audit your inner circle. We are the sum total of the 5 people we hang around. So if you got the person that inspires you, great. And if you have the other person that's always saying, like, if you have someone in your life that you make excuses to when you share your dreams, I'd love you to start catching that. Someone in your life like, I just want to try this thing. I know my job is good. No, I know. I should be lucky with the job I have. I know, but I have this, I know I'm meant for more. If you find yourself doing that, just stop. Find another conversation with that person. I'm not going to say throw these people out of your life. Find different conversations. Don't try to sell them on who you are. My grandmother's best advice to me is she's like, don't tell people what you're going to do. Just do it so loud they can't avoid it. So many times in life we can get our feelings hurt by the person you might love the most who doesn't believe in the dream that you have. Don't even judge them anymore. Accept them and go be you. Do what my grandmother said. Don't tell them anything. Just do it so loud they can't avoid it. Okay? Number one, audit your inner circle. Number two, solve bigger problems. Don't look for problems to go away. You got to shift that in 2024. Don't look for bigger problems to go away. Look to get better at handling bigger problems. Here's what I know. If I walk in a room and there's 10 successful people at a table, I could tell you right now, the most successful person at that table handles the biggest problems. Be the person when shit goes sideways, when stuff goes sideways. I'm going to be good here today. When stuff goes sideways, be the person in life that goes, oh, I got that. I'll take it. Thank you. Everybody's like, I don't really want it. Yeah, great. I'll take it. Yes, thank you. Please. Be that person. I got to tell you something. In my journey of having nothing to doing better than I ever imagined in my life, I can remember the stress of one of my first big deals, which was like making $3,000, $4,000 ages ago in my 20s. And it was huge for me at the time. And the stress I went through, the worry I went through, the problems I solved. I mean, just beating myself up to make this deal and not sleep at night. If this deal doesn't happen, what's going to be? And that deal happened. Oh. And I've been blessed since then to do deals that are worth $25 million, $50 million. I know this sounds crazy, but guess what? The level of stress is no different. No different. So if you're going to solve problems, solve $100,000 problems, $10,000 problems, $1 million problems, right? I think about this. My wife laughs at me, and she's adopted it now, or adopted it. If I go to a restaurant and I order medium rare steak, and they bring me well done chicken, I just eat it. My wife would be like, babe, but that's not what you ordered. I'm like, who cares? I like chicken too. I want to solve bigger problems. Is there a problem with the current education system? Just being honest. Whether you're a teacher, you've been to school, but can we agree there's a problem with the current education system? 77% of people who go to school don't use their degree. They have lots of debt, they don't use their degree. Out of the people that are left, half of those hate the job they're in. It's like 11% of people actually go to school, get a job, and like it. Is that a problem? Right? We got big schools that are really just hedge funds with $100 million in their coffers. Oh, and they happen to teach at the same time. It's crazy, right? It's a big problem. Who's solving it? Most of you that are on here, by being in the self-education industry, by teaching what you know, because people would rather learn from somebody who's done it rather than someone who's teaching it. That's just the way it is. It's a big problem, big opportunity to solve it. So, number 2, and I'm going a little longer on these today because they're important. Number 2 is solve bigger problems. Who's up for solving bigger problems? Don't ask for problems to go away. Ask to get better at solving bigger ones. Number 3, it's on me. I don't know when it was in life. I don't know who pushed me to do it. It wasn't always that way. But there was a time in my life where I realized no one was coming to save me. That it was on me. That things will go wrong in my life. That people will let me down. People will take advantage. Still on me. And when it didn't happen overnight. But when you realize that stuff is crazy, the world is insane, but it's on you. That means if stuff goes sideways, take full responsibility. But if things go really good, you get to take full responsibility. It's easy to say it's the last president's fault, it's the current president's fault. It's the economy, it's the interest rates. Has there always been crap going since the beginning of time? Yes or no? Has there always been crap going? And have people prospered no matter what since the beginning of time? And have people been stuck since? Yes. Somebody said to me, no, Dean. I was around a table, and somebody said, no, these are the worst times ever before in history. And I said, really? How much history have you dug into? I geeked out about 2 years ago on Genghis Khan. Anybody would have liked to have been alive during Genghis Khan? Want to hear something crazy? I don't know if you know this. Do you know that he killed so many people and burned their bodies that the temperature of the earth went down by 2 degrees because he was burning so many bodies that smoke went in the air, covered the sun, and the earth's temperature went up by 2 degrees? Did you know, Google it when you're done today, did you know that 0.5% of 8 billion people on this earth have Genghis Khan's blood in them? 0.5% of the entire world, 40 million people right now are descendants of Genghis Khan. Because obviously he wasn't just ruthless and killed people. When he went into towns, he did more than that, obviously. So when someone says these are the worst times, I'm like, imagine being in a town with Genghis Khan and his people on the way. Roman Empire, Greek Empire, World War I, World War II. I'm not saying to make light of any of it. It was all horrific. But we are in a time, and this too shall change, and this too shall shift, and we can wait and sit on our hands and hope it gets better, or we could take uncomfortable action. We could be disturbed with our own inaction and say, it's on me. I need to empower this mindset. I need to stay connected. I need to model proven practices. I need to be a different version of me, because if the shit on the outside's not going to change, then I must change and lead the path. It's on me. That's number 3. Number 4, who is steering your ship? I know that sounds like, what does that mean? Like, who is directing the course of your life? Is it you? I hope so, but I would check it. The news could be helping to steer your ship. If you got someone chirping in your ear, I'm going to go for this thing. Are you sure? The economy's bad. Oh, you hand over the keys to you hand the wheel to your ship. Okay, I'll let you steer for a little bit. Oh no, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm finally going to break free. I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to go to the next level. I'm going to create a workshop with amazing women and take this next level. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You watch the news. Maybe it's not the time. Hand the wheel to the media. We have to watch who is navigating our ship. Is it our coworkers? Is it, I wrote this down, is it self-doubt? Is it imposter syndrome? Is it past failures? Is it past regrets? Every time you go, I'm going to break free and I'm going to finally do this. But the last time I tried my own thing, I kind of gave up on myself and I didn't really go all in. You're letting the past steer your ship? How's that going to work out for you? How's the past steering the ship going to work out for you? Can you live a fulfilled life looking in the rearview mirror? When you're feeling off, your confidence is down, you're questioning yourself. I want you to think in your head. I guarantee when you are feeling off, if you physically think about it, you'll realize your hands are not on the wheel, someone else is. And I would just think in your head like, this is mine. I don't care if this is the path you don't think is right. I'm going this way. Be the captain of your ship. Be the captain of your future. If you fail, congratulations. Fail on your thoughts. Is there anything worse in the world than having a dream and then altering it because of someone else in your life, and then when it doesn't work, you go, God damn it, why didn't I do it my way? Raise your hand in a minute if you would rather fail doing it your way rather than succeeding, adjusting, adopting, and becoming someone else to do it. Would you rather fail doing it your own way? Raise your hand. Right? Me too. And I'm not saying that's why model proven practices, stay connected to a group like this, practice repetition, but I want to go about it the way I feel it. I don't want to look through my dad's lens. I'll get my dad's results. I don't want to look through my mom's lens. I'll get her results. I love them, but I don't want what they had. Thank God that I get to support them, right? So, who is steering your ship? And I would say it's time to create the course that you want to be on. So, number 4 is who's steering your ship. Number 5. I robbed this from Og Mandino in the book, The World's Greatest Salesman. It's The World's Greatest Salesman. The book is less about sales and it's more about life. I've had my kids read it, new people that work for me, I have them read it. Really love the book. It's short, 2-hour read. But it's his second scroll. It's 10 scrolls, and this second scroll is, I will meet this day with love. And that one really hit me, the way it was presented. Because in this book, I will meet this day with love, it's like, as a salesman, he's used it through the lens of a salesman, but he's like, my product they may not like. The way I dress may turn them off. The way I speak might not be the accent that they appreciate. But with love, they'll feel my intentions. And I think about that as most all of you in here are starting or scaling your business. Is if you start with love for your client, you make different decisions. I hope you feel loved of me being here today. I planned this today. I hope you feel my heart. I hope you feel my preparation. I hope you feel my desire for you to live into your full potential. I'm living in your eyes. It's easy for me to communicate. It's not about me today. It's about you, and I need to be the best version of myself to deliver to you. If you're going to spend time with me, I want to be a version that disturbs you to take action, delivers you capabilities, to show you patterns, to stay connected, right? If I start with loving you guys, as crazy as it might sound foo-foo to some of the guys, but if I start with saying, I love you guys, that means after that, if I love you guys, then I must love whatever it is I'm delivering to you. A training for 3 hours, a course, a program, being a part of Mastermind, some of our advanced programs. I must love that. And then third, I must love the results that you get. And if I fall in love with my clients, and I fall in love with my product, and I fall in love with your results, then I don't have to sell. And I get to meet people and serve them where they are. And my business grows organically. I feel blessed beyond belief. Tony and I's brands have just continued to grow year after year, and I believe it's because, anybody ever been to a Tony Robbins event? Raise your hand. Can you tell that guy loves you? No shit. Can you tell that guy truly loves you? If you saw the tears he's in all the time. He reads testimonials and people who send him videos, and he'll call me in freaking tears running down his face on Zoom, can't even catch his breath. He's like, oh my God, like it fills his heart. So in times like these, especially with the world shifting, I would say, and I wrote this down, serve greater, care more, love more. Fall in love with the product, fall in love with the client. And guess what it really does? You know what the biggest byproduct is? You fall more in love with yourself. And then you never sell another day in your life. Because you know if you bold. Remember, this was 111 topics. I narrowed it down to 10. At least these are my favorite 10. It is time, hear me, it is time to be more courageous. It is time to reach inside and find that bolder version of you. It is not time to dim your glow. It is not time to let imposter syndrome win. It is not time to worry about being judged. Life is going by really fast. This is the time to be bold. This is the time to be courageous. This is the time for uncomfortable action. Whether that's starting or scaling or trying something new, it's scary. It's scary to start small in something new. It's scary to do something different. But who can agree your next level of life has always lived on the other side of the thing you were afraid of for a little while or putting off? This is the time to not look at the things in 2024, not look at the things that make you comfortable. We can tend to do the things that are easy. If you're building a course, you might be great with logos and colors and more burnt orange and fall colors and designing them, but then maybe marking's uncomfortable, so you go, I'm gonna go back to design, and I'll add another chapter, right? I'm gonna tell you, this is the year to look for the thing you've been putting off and go, damn it, no more. I'm going after you. I'm being bold. I'm being brave. I'm being courageous. I'm going to attack that thing that I've been scared of, because once I get on the other side of that, there is no stopping me. Go into that place you've been avoiding. If you don't do it for you, do it for your family, for gosh sakes. How cool would it be to someday your daughter or your grandchildren talking about their mom or their grandma or their grandfather and saying, you know, watch my mom always do this, and then one day, she just got so brave. She was just moving forward. She was living into who she was meant to be. And I watched her do so many things. She failed, but then she succeeded. And oh my God, I imagine that story, right? And we don't want to compare it to the alternative, right? So be bold. That was number 6. Number 7, this is a simple one. Focus on the fix. Focus on the fix. That's one I've been teaching my boy Brody since he was little. He's 15. I'm so proud of this kid. He's starting to grow like a weed. It's so cool to watch. But my son, I watched at an early age. And you know, some of those things, until you're a parent, and you guys, can you agree with me? Some things that you thought were taught, when you have kids, you realize some of it's innate. Isn't that crazy? Who in here has seen that with their kids? You're like, I thought I learned this behavior, and then you see your 3-year-old doing it, like, oh my God, it's baked in the cake, right? It's part of the DNA. My son would always obsess on why it happened, right? If the milk spilt, he'd be like, well, Dad, why'd the milk spill? Whose fault is it? Why'd somebody put the milk there? Some of you, you know, a relationship went bad and just, it's driving you crazy on why it went bad and how could he do that or how could she do that? Or why didn't this company go well? Why did they take advantage? Why did they take money out of the account? Or why did Facebook change their algorithm? Or why aren't people liking my video? So many times, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It's like baked in our DNA that our brains will focus on what happened, why did it go wrong, and whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? And I watched this in my son, and that was what I said. I didn't say focus on solutions. I said, Brody, you got to focus on the fix. See it, feel it, learn from it. Make it empowered. Who in here can admit for an absolute fact that you have stuff that's gone completely wrong in your life? And when you're in it, you're like, this is the worst thing ever. I wish it didn't happen. And now 5 years later, 10 years later, you're like, thank goodness that happened. Oh my God, if I would have stayed in that relationship, if I would have stayed in that job that fired me, oh my God, I'd be dead on the inside. So, if that's the fact, we could just speed it up a little bit. Get it out of the way. I can't believe she did that. Can't believe it went wrong. I'm done. How do we fix it? I tell my son all the time, remember, If the milk spills, just go get a towel and a new glass of milk, and let's move on. Okay? Focus on the fix. Your energy needs to be connected. And what's great about being a part of a community like this, those of you who are part of our mastermind community, you got an amazing bunch of people that are helping you focus on solutions. And you can ask advice, and you can go in and say, hey, how did you get through something like this? Boom, 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 boom. You get that connection. Because sometimes you have a friend that's empowering that. I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes you have a friend that's like, yeah, I can't believe he did that to you. And every time you're with them, they just bring up those feelings again. And there we go. The energy shift goes to why it happened. It goes to whose fault it is, when all of it needs to go into the fix. Number 8, look for the little shifts. Look for the little things. You probably heard me say it before, but I love the saying, small hinges swing a big door. Small shifts will transform your life, right? Anybody ever do a crash diet, lose the weight, and then it comes back, right? Then all of a sudden, has anybody ever just made small shifts in your diet that stayed, I'm going to avoid soda during the week. I'm going to stop bread during the week. I'm just going to, every other time, say no to too many carbs and just have a salad every other time. And then all of a sudden, the weight doesn't fly off. But you look at yourself 3 months later and you go, damn, I'm looking okay. Small little shifts in your life, right? It's the same thing with success. What routines can you subtly shift? What routines could you subtly shift? You get up in the morning. We all do. You do something in the morning. How could you shift your routine just a little bit in the morning to empower your day? Maybe you wake up and roll over and you look at your phone and go, oh, all right. And you surf a little bit, check some emails. What if a small routine says, you went, oh, no, I'm not going to look at it for the first half hour. Right now, I'm going to go read 3 sentences. I'm going to listen to a quick podcast. I'm going to listen to something that inspires me. Or I'm going to just write for 3 minutes on some of the great things that happened to me yesterday and some of the great things I'd love to happen today. Or better yet, I'm going to leave my phone down. I'm going to go drink a green drink, just a little scoop of a powder, maybe some MCT oil. I'm going to pound that. Maybe a little lemon and apple cider vinegar. I'm going to pound that. I'm going to take a 15-minute walk. Then I'll look at my phone. Could that subtle shift actually deliver a huge byproduct? For me, my morning routine, once I shifted it a decade ago, or longer, I wake up, I try not to look at my phone. Do I do some days? Of course. Always? Most of the time? No. I wake up, I practice a little gratitude, nothing big, just I woke up, I'm happy, love my little boy. Just something short, quick, puts me in a different state. I literally go out, I drink a green drink, scoop a green drink, some MCT oil, a couple other things, I shake it up, I drink it, and then I go exercise. Whether that's a walk, a run, some weights, I just do it. When I do that small little shift, it sets my day up to feel empowered. I feel like I'm going after the world offensively, not on defense. Wake up, check my email, not work out, drink a cup of coffee, had those mornings. I don't feel the same. I don't have the results. So I'm just going to encourage you to look for the little things that you could shift. What routines could you shift? How could you, look at, all of this is in my journal. How could you journal a little differently? If you're a part of Mastermind, you know the whole training I did with Matthew McConaughey on journaling. Anybody ever see that one? Oh my God, it's a game changer. Subtle shifts in journaling, little bit each day. I journal every day of my life. And I don't mean just journal about my life. I use it as a place, that's what we teach. I use it as a place to empower my life. Could journaling and writing stuff down, not just putting it on your phone, could that be a little shift? Hell yes. Could digging back into the course that you own, or the courses you own, or the courses you will own, could you say, hey, weekly routine, 3 days a week, 1 hour a day, I'm going back into the course. I'm starting at the beginning, or I'm going through this. I'm watching this. I'm training on this. Could that shift your life? Yes or no? What if you guys just scheduled 15 minutes a day where you didn't let this thing dominate you, and you spent 15 minutes a day just dreaming, just focusing on the bigger future, focusing on who you could become, focusing on the man or woman that's screaming to come out? The man or woman that's in there that's meant to be bigger, more, impact more, donate more, setting dreams. What if you spent 15 minutes a day or every other day, or start with 15 minutes a Sunday, and you just had focus time, dream time, crazy, big, bold, audacious dream time? Could that little shift be a hinge that swings a big door? Yes or no? Look for the little things, because the little things are actually the big things. That was number 8. Number 9, I will persist until I succeed. That is from Ogmandino again. I got to give the guy credit. I always love giving credit, because why I love that one so much. Do you know any other word in the English language that can guarantee your success other than the word persist? The word persist. If I persist until I succeed, that means I'm never quitting. How many of you know people, or yourself, we've all been guilty of it, that you quit on the 5-yard line? You were almost there, but it just got a little heavy, and you're like, maybe not. I love what Ogmandino says. In his book, he talks about persisting till he succeeds. You know what he said? He goes, when did anybody ever start thinking that the prize was at the beginning of the journey? The prize is at the end of the journey. And when did we start thinking that the journey should only be a certain length? For some people, it's a short journey. For some people, it's a long journey. But if you keep persisting, he said it, if you keep going around corners, you go around one, it's not there. All right, go around another one, it's not there. It's gonna be around this one, no, it's not. Most people go, third corner, this isn't for me. I'm gonna go back to the life I don't like, but this didn't pay me quick enough, so I'm leaving. But the way he looks is those that keep going around corner and around corner, finally one day you look around the corner and there's your next level of life. Number 10. Number 10 is who versus how. Who versus how. This comes back to modeling proven practices. We all have a gap in our life. We all are at a certain place and we want to go to another place. When you feel something you want to do, you want to make more money, go to another level, have a different mindset, you want to scale in the self-education industry and stop playing around, you want to go to the next level, your brain is going to go, I love it, I feel it, let's go. How are we going to get this done? How do I start? How do I fit this in? The how will drive you nuts. Got to say who. Who has already done what I want to do, and how do I model their proven practices? That's the industry most of us are in. I'm in, Tony's in. 90% of you here today, we're in or on our way into a business where we're helping people go faster by showing the practices that we've created. Some of you might be helping go vegan or speaking a different language or a million other things. We help people to enter this industry, right? So instead of the how, it's the who. I remember when TikTok first came out, my team's like, you got to get on TikTok. I'm like, I'm not getting on another social media platform. I just can't. And I'm watching all these cool dances. I'm like, I'm too much of an introvert. I'm not going to do crazy dances and do stuff to get people to go viral on TikTok. I'm not going to. Finally, my team convinces me, and I'm literally looking at my phone going, how do I register? How do I do it? At the time, my son was in like 6th grade. I'm trying to figure out how my son literally in 6th grade grabs my phone, 7th grade, grabs my phone and goes, Dad, all right, you're on TikTok, just film it and hit send. And I'm like, oh my God, he was the who, right? He was the who. I was trying to figure out how. Who has already done, or who can do what you want to, who has already done, or who has the steps, the roadmap, the blueprint to already get where you want to do, and get it from them, no matter what it takes. Chew with me, add a little, chew with me, add a little.